What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We are here in the Nerd Castle with the next episode in Nompton. Just kind of hanging out, getting some of those preliminary things done that we need to do before the end of our first year. As I had said, lots of food because in the winter we can't get any more. Lots of water, all that fun stuff. In the previous episodes, we had a bit of a setback due to some bad spawning RNG, but it's okay. We recovered, I think, slightly. If we can get these guys up to speed, I was thinking I was going to get attacked within the first couple days of summer, and we've actually had 5 days of just non-stop training between these two, so we should end up okay. Oh, he leveled up Hammer. That's good. Dodge is almost at the point where I'm happy with it. What about you? 26 fighting and 13 dodge. Dodge is still pretty bad, but the 26 fighting will serve him well. His fitness score is amazing, so if we can ever get this guy into some armor with a weapon, I think he's going to be quite the killer, although I might reassign him back to mining if we get a few more warriors in the next year. This should be assigned to be harvested, as I recall. Must be other things to get done that are pertinent. Still keeping an eye out for goblins, because now that we're into the summer, we may get caught with some of them. I think over here we've got bars being made. We've only made 2 of them. We're dropping bars super hard, like we're making an album here. And then on this floor, how are we doing with this copper? How were we doing with the copper? I think we were following it around in kind of a snake-like path. A sneaky snake-like path. And then we'll follow it on over there, I think, this time. The third miner would really kind of help us right now. The third miner. That sounds like a super epic movie about a guy like jumping through the air with a pickaxe trying to hit a goblin. It's like, he is the third miner. Anyways. So I think what I'll do now... We have another bear kind of... Oh no, a goblin. A goblin. Oh my god! So that was what I was worried. Do we have multiple goblins? Or is it a singular goblin? I think it's just the one. And so assuming that we don't get punched in the throat... we should be okay. Let the fight take... Oh, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. Oh, we killed the goblin! How do we kill him? Let's look at the event log. This is awesome. We killed him super fast. So the goblin has died. Look at the 5th day of summer. There was a group fight. Napopo bites the goblin, hitting his upper body, smashing his skin, and crushing his right lung. He bit through his chest. That is how he killed him. He bit through his chest. Brutal. That's pretty metal, right? There's a third one? Oh my god, there's a lot of... Okay, so maybe we should probably adjust this slightly. Let's go ahead, and we don't want to use the last person of any job to get this done. Who has good fighting skills? Anybody named Pops is probably good at fighting, right? Sure, let's send Pops. Pops, get in there. Ooh, a second goblin has died. Ooh, a good combat for us. Oh yes, that's what happens, goblins. You try and roll up in here, and the first action reaction team will have that ass for dinner, and also for vacation. It will be straight ugly for you. We'd be up in that ass like a bite. That is what happens. And so we've survived our first combat. Hopefully they don't do anything stupid like running off after a bear now. Feeling galvanized by the fact that they've won a fight. They've been like, yeah, we kicked the crap out of some goblins, let's go wrestle a bear. Because obviously that's the first logical decision you make after you beat up some goblins. Can we butcher the goblins? I think we could back in the day. Oh yeah, let's butcher the little bastards. This is what happens. We make goblin sausage out of you when you try and invade us. This is what we devour our enemies. We consume their mana, which is an old Hawaiian concept. I don't know if that's where they get mana from in video games, but in Hawaiian culture, mana is the life force that's contained inside of like all things. Like rocks have mana, like wheat would have mana. And so kind of when Goku charges up the spirit bomb, that's what he's drawing from everything around him. He's gathering up the mana so that he can make the big spirit bomb. But anyways, we're going to eat the goblins so that we can incorporate their mana into our person, and then we will all become badass warriors. Somebody dropped their felling axe on their way in. I feel like you would want to bring that to a fight with you, unless you are really confident about your fisticuff skills. I mean, if I had an axe, I think I would stick with that. I mean, that's going to be a hell of a first swing. The other guy might be really good at fist fighting, but you've got an axe. I mean, he better be really, really good. I'd swing for the legs. I mean, it's tough to get out of the way if you swing for the legs on somebody. How many bars do we have going over here? 3 copper bars. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I should probably build a kitchen. Someplace that I could cook up this goblin that we've now got. Make some goblin sausage. Which really does sound kind of unappealing, but anyways, I'm gonna do it because we can. We're gonna put it in a separate room so that nobody sees what horrible debauched thing we're doing by eating another humanoid. Although I guess it's no different than like in Africa, for example, you can eat like orangutan and stuff like that. I'll treat the goblins as though they're orangutans. We're just gonna eat them as though they're like bonobos or something. It'll be fine. There's no harm that could possibly... We could never get anything like Kuru out of all this. And so let's build a new workshop. We're gonna go to the drink vendor. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty happy about the way that that fight went down. I was thinking that it was gonna be a lot worse than it actually turned. Is that a butchery that I'm building? Hold on, what? It looks the same. It's confusing me. I'm so confused! Let's go to kitchen. There we go. Is it the same thing? Okay, I was right. I got it good. I got it good the first time. It's okay. All worries and doubts. Oh, we've already made a knife too. That's gonna make our life easier. I would think that we should probably summon an ambassador from the Rag Kingdom. He's en route. So let's go ahead and fix his room up so that he's a little bit happier this time. He's being a little bit of a fickle bitch last time, and so he's like, yeah, I can't sleep on a straw floor. I'm from the Rag Kingdom where we have things like beds, and comfort has been invented. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. We sleep hard. It's Nompton, man. This is real. This is all day. You don't even know. All day. We've got tattoos of our area code up on here. What is the area code of Nompton? I don't know. I assume it's like some weird negative number. I mean, I suppose we could go with like... I don't know. Let's make up an area code for Nompton. What should our area code be? I mean, I'm tempted for it to be like 1337. The area code doesn't make any sense because area codes in the US are 3 numbers like 707, which is my area code that I came from. And then there's other people, you know, from different areas, but it is what it is. I think that's what it's going to be. Our area code is going to be 1337. Every gnome is going to have a giant tattoo of 1337 killers on his neck. And so every time the goblins roll in, they know what's coming. We're going to start tagging trees. And be like, yeah, this tree is our property. This is ours. Roll out if you're feeling brave. Did your hammer break? Sigh. Oh well, it was bound to happen eventually. I wanted her to train in fisticuffs anyways. Surprisingly, the Way of the Gnome is an incredibly effective fighting skill. Just so you guys know, if you're worried that fist fighting this game, oh, the hammer got taken. So sometimes that'll happen. They got in the they were fighting here in the arena, and one of them knocked the hammer out of the other guy's hand and took it. The fights are actually pretty dynamic. By the way, how did the other goblin die? I want to know. I want to know. And so the goblin has been hit in the neck, smashing his skin and crushing the throat. Pretty badass. Let's have a look for the other goblin. Ooh. Glee bites the goblin, hitting his neck, smashing the skin, and crushing his throat. He ripped his throat out with his teeth. Glee, you are an animal. You are an animal, man. You've earned a new name. In fact, I'm going to name you, in MMOs, I always use this name. And this is going to be your new name. I can't help it. Glee is now named Smash Nasty because she is nasty. As you bite somebody's throat out in a fight, you're pretty hardcoresies. Kind of a terrifying human being. If I had heard that some guy from the 1337 had bit somebody's throat out in a fight, I'd be like, damn, I ain't messing with the people from Nompton. They roll hard. That's no joke out in Nompton. That's a killing field out there. Skulls laying around in bushes and stuff. Buildings built like 700 years ago with like holes in the wall. No air conditioning. It's brutal. It's hardcore. So as soon as our kitchen is in, we're going to make some goblin sausage. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be like Guy Fieri up in here, but like less douchey. Let's go ahead and we can do goblin sausage. Yeah, goblin sausage. We're going to put goblin sausage on repeat, in fact, and we're just going to make as much as we can. And then we will also queue up some yak meat. And so there it is. We'll have ourselves some victuals finally. Some food that is worthy of building up the muscles and making ourselves stronger instead of this weird like fruit diet we've been on. I mean, I bet everybody looks like they're straight out of 300 because as I understand, in 300 they put them on a fruit diet too where they're just like eating pineapples all day every day. And that's how they got down to like 1% body fat. I kind of wonder what they would have done if anybody on the cast of that movie had like gotten the flu, because that would have been like life-threatening. If you're at that low of a body fat quota and you get like the flu, you are done for. You are absolutely toast. Because how your body survives when it gets sick. It just kind of like ketones it up and handles all that stuff. Well, on the plus side, Smash Nasty will be getting some much needed fisticuff skills. So I suppose that is a bonus. But I guess I've been talking about random stuff for too long. We need to start thinking about, oh, we need to get at that copper. So let's go down and we'll put in a torch. And then we'll finish off this copper. I hope it doesn't run off the map. I know there's like this unwritten rule where you're not supposed to have any of your boundary space like touching the wall. I don't know what the meaning of that rule is, but it's one of those things that I've heard people suggest, and I think it's because things can spawn off the edge of the wall in a weird fashion. How are we doing on wheat, by the way? Oh, we still have tons of wheat. Alright, so that'll be fine. We haven't hit like an equilibrium or anything, but we definitely have, I think, enough to get by. We want to get ourselves set before winter. Luckily, we've got another season going, so you can harvest all the way through every season without having to worry about anything too substantial. I believe so hard right now that it is probably time to get our first metalworking location up. I'm going to go with an armorer first. We're not even going to mess with weapons for a while. We're just going to do armor smithing. And we're going to get a copper anvil from there. And once we have the armor smith up, what we can start doing is making bronze bars. Once the bronze bars have been crafted, we can make bronze plates. Once the bronze plates have been crafted, we can then start making chest pieces for everybody, just to make sure that we don't get punched in the throat. Because I forget the name of the device that you have. It's called a... It's like a goooo or something like that. I forget. That's like a word that I made up. Don't quote me on that. I just totally made that up out of the back of my head. But there's like a specific word that I think starts with either a B or a G. It's a French word for a throat guard on plate mail, and I forget what it's called. I was just reading an article about this like a day ago, and I've already forgotten it because that's how my memory works. I don't remember anything. I would like to replace some walls to make the ambassador happier. So let's put in some block walls here. He'll stop being like whiny. Being like, me, I had to sleep on a floor the whole time I was in Nompton. Yeah. My life is so hard. I'm an ambassador. I wear silk suits and walk around for a living. Although I suppose there is like the distinct possibility that like things could go sour in between us and the Rag Kingdom. Like the Rag Kingdom could come up into Nompton and be like tagging some of our trees and like spray painting on our bears, at which point we'd be like, yo man, what are you doing? That's my bear. I see you tagging in my territory. You trying to expand out, or what's going on here? We'll go to the mattresses, son. We will go hard here in Nompton. You don't even know. And then the Rag Kingdom would be like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And we'd be like, execute your ambassador on Al Jazeera or something. I don't know, Gnome Jazeera or whatever it's called. And then that's just how it would happen. And then forever, the Rag Kingdom and Nompton would be engaged. We would have to decide on a group color. I mean, I don't know what color you guys are preferable to, but I feel like Nompton's Gnome Gang color should probably be like grayish. I realize how ambiguous that sounds, but it's like grayish? But anyways, that's what I feel would probably be the best color for all of us. If you guys have color suggestions for the flags that we will be flying here in Nompton, feel free to suggest. I mean, I can't change anybody's colors. If I could, I would reassign, and staying in the motif of the playthrough, I would definitely reassign everybody to a communal color that would let everybody know whose side we're on, but as of right now, I think grayish is what I would go for, since everybody is almost kind of grayish, and also our kingdom is sort of gray and nasty and unkempt and unpleasant. Is this room 540 yet? 275. Well, we sent for one. I don't know if they'll actually send him out here. It said he was en route. I don't actually know if that meant what it meant, or if he's just like sitting on a tree root somewhere and it's just like messing with me linguistically. Is he here right now? I would assume that I would have noticed if he had showed up. It appears not. Yeah, making that goblin sausage. There it is. People be like, this is delicious, what is this? And we've got like this weird Sweeney Todd moment where every time people start eating, you hear a whistle blow in the distance. All the gnomes are like, what was that? We're like, don't worry about it, it doesn't mean anything. It's figurative. It's metaphorical, don't worry about it. How are you guys doing with regards to your skills? Fitness is looking pretty good. Fighting is up to 30, which is actually a pretty tremendous fighting skill. As far as Gnomoria goes, the place that you want them to be is in the mid-30s to just be like a competent fighter. That's how you know that they've seen some shit, and they've got like the 50-yard stare or whatever it's called. So Smash Nasty is rapidly becoming quite the community killer. Napopo, conversely, is not so good. Well, Napopo's up there too. If I could get Napopo to drop the hammer, or if I would stop being too lazy to assign roles to all of my gnomes. we could probably fix this problem. They're going through drinks faster than we're supplying them, which is actually making me a little concerned. I might have to build another brewery. In fact, what I may do is assign like one of my random people that just has a bunch of like weird skills and just be like, guess what, you stand over here and do this thing. Delicious shot. Watch them waddle away with their lovely sausage that they have no idea what's in it. It's kind of tangy. It's got kind of a little bit of a bite almost. Well, yeah, it did, didn't it? Oh god, that's awful. That's dark. That's dark. Let's keep at some of that tin. I may have to assign somebody just to make drinks for a while. I don't know if we just got like a big wave of people who got drinks all at the same time. Hosting an ambassador might cause a problem there too. With the kingdoms, diplomacy. Oh, I don't think they're sending one out, so maybe... Oh, it says he's en route, so maybe I just didn't wait long enough. Senya Knight, this is not your quarters. Sorry. Senya Knight's gonna have to be sent off to the corner because this is not her quarters right now. I think I should probably like put some furniture in here or something. I don't know. Let's put some dressers in. There we go. That's like, people like dressers in their house, right? I just keep my clothes on the floor, but, you know, whatever. Some people must like dressers, otherwise they wouldn't build them. We'll also put in like a table, a table. And then just to make things a little bit prettier, a couple chairs. So that we can have round table or square table talks about all the unilateral offensives we're going to be pulling on the other kingdoms. Be like, Rag Kingdom, Nompton, allied up, G'd up, let's go. We're going to go beat up, what's the other name of the other kingdom? The Misty Bread. What the hell kind of name is that? Why don't you get a real kingdom name? Like Nompton. When I first wanted to start this series, I was going to take Easy E's Real Compton City G's. I'm not going to say the real name of the song on here because I try to keep it PG. As hard as Nompton goes, I can't betray the programming schedule that we have here at the Nerd Castle. But anyways, what I was going to say, you guys are just going to keep assigning yourself to this room, aren't you? You're like, yeah, this is the best room in the whole place. Why wouldn't we? I think he wanted like 575 or something ridiculous like that. And I don't think we're going to make it. We're just putting in like pine chairs, which are basically worthless. They are getting done pretty rapidly, though, I will say. As far as assigning jobs goes, I'm pretty pleased with the speed at which things are getting done. And so over here, we should be about ready to make that anvil so that we can get the armorer going. And this is going to be one of the big problems with getting your metalworking setup going, is it just takes so long to get a metalworking foundry up. So we're going to focus on armor first, since everybody's good at fist fighting to begin with. And then once we have armor taken care of, there it is, a shiny copper anvil. Once we have armor taken care of, and we have everybody in full bronze gear, we'll go ahead and start assigning them to weapons after that fact. But for now, weapons aren't really that important. Armor tends to be the big thing that you want to get done before, I think, like, maybe your I mean, you can fight with your fists as long as you're in bronze armor up until, like, your second, third year if you get lucky with some of your rolls. I tend to have weapons by then. I really prefer to have all bronze gear by the beginning of winter. Just the way that I go, but lots of stuff to be done up here. He's standing all alone by himself in the training field. Just like, I wish I had a friend to train with. But nope, no friends for you. We have our anvil. Oh, we need a ball peen hammer. I forgot about that. Well, we'll cancel that then. And what we'll do, I forgot about the ball peen hammer. That was one of those things that I think they added. So we got to do a blacksmith first. I forgot the way the game dictates the order that you have to go in with some of these builds. So we'll build a blacksmith first, which will then allow us to make a ball peen hammer, I think, unless we already have one. Yeah, we've got smelters and everything, but we're not quite there yet. Do I have anything that I can smelt out? I can go through my stocks right here. And we can take a look at... Oh, that's not the one I want. I need this right here. Actually, no, let's go weapons. We have a hammer. A helmet. Okay, so now I didn't know if any of the goblins had brought weapons with them, which always kind of worries me a slight bit. I may have set them up for too many bandages. I should probably lower this number slightly to like 20. I don't think we're going to need 30. Get my worker back here. What is that? Oh, there's a log sitting back behind there. I was like, what is that? Is that some kind of like wooden bag that you have crafted? Why is that laying around? Drinks are up to 42, so we're slightly recovering. We do have a lot of farming to do, though, that kind of needs to get done. I don't know if it's not getting done because we have somebody over here constantly just like crafting things. Don't have any new yaks yet. Canceled that just in case weird things happen. And how's this room looking now that it's all... Ooh, 613, we made it. He wanted like 550 or 450 or something like that. Or 540 or something weird. It was a combination of 5 4s and 0s. Beyond that, I'm not really sure what to tell you. We're kind of in a weird spot where we have so much tin that it's almost kind of like we have to use tin to do certain things. Let me put in some more torches. So there goes one right there. Start off with one right there too. And I'm just going to keep after all of this copper. Keep on keeping on. Because we definitely need a ton of copper to get this done. We're going to need 4 copper to each bronze bar that we make. And so it's going to be kind of a long, unwieldy process to get all this work done. We also don't have like a storage room anywhere nearby where they can get the metal close at hand. So maybe I'll mine this out and call this metal storage over here. We have a little room right there. I do want to start building above ground pretty soon too, but I'm going to have to get rid of this hill. I'm also going to have to get rid of this hill before I can really start building like castle walls or anything to seal us in. One of those unfortunate things that I just kind of have to... Why aren't you guys harvesting, by the way? I bet it's because they were cotton workers. That's why. It's because they've been making bandages and stuff over here. Our food counter appears to be broken. Oh, we have 4,000 food. What? We have 126. I was going to say, our food counter is now broken, which is going to be incredibly unreliable as we play the game. That's kind of fun. I'm seeing all kinds of bugs here that I've never known Gnomoria to be a buggy game. But we've got a bunch of them this time through. I wonder if that's going to max out the memory space eventually and crash our game. Like, I wonder what the max length of that integer is. As somebody that used to program, I'm kind of concerned about it. Well, nothing I can do about it right now. I mean, if it crashes the game, it crashes the game, and I guess we'll restart, but it's not something that I look forward to. This has been a pretty eventful playthrough thus far. Why are you still crafting over here? We don't have 20 band-aids? How do we not have 20 band-aids? We started with like 30 of the damn things. It says we have 27 in our stockpile. Why are you still crafting that? No idea. So that job shouldn't still be going because we have 27 bandages and she's at 20. Let's send her back up. Yeah, do the harvest, please. Just make sure that we have food for the future. We're going to need at least like 300 to get us through the winter. And now I got to figure out... God. So now every time I want to see how much food we have, I'm going to have to click on stocks. It's not so much more work than just looking up here, but it is something that I'm going to have to do. I am really concerned about that integer. I hope that it's at least 6 digits so that we never get to the point where it maxes out. God. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Now that our farmers are back on the job, our other farmers should just be working on drinks. Because we need that number to be way higher, too. How are our stocks looking on wheat? How are those faring? 39 grains, so they're diminishing, but we haven't been bringing in a harvest either, which is the other half of that equation that, for whatever reason, getting stuck on making bandages has left us in kind of the awkward position of having to figure out, like, what the hell went wrong there. Bunch more copper to be had down here, so I'm going to continue mining this wall out. And one more torch that I think I'll place right there. Looks like we got a little bit of freebie coal too. That'll help out later on. Now I'm not going to mine this out because it's so close to the wall. I'm going to leave that alone. And taking a look at my stocks, let's look at how much metal we have right now. So we've got 166 copper and 86 tin. So for now, I think this is all the mining that we're going to do. We're actually going to back off of this right now. And once this is done, hopefully somebody will jump in and start fiddling with this over here. I'm gonna host an ambassador from the Misty Bread, I guess. Well, I wish I could send a message to not do that. I don't know if we have like a telegraph or what it is. Like we have telegraph technology, but people still have to walk everywhere. I don't know. I wonder how our food counter broke. I'm kind of wondering about how that would work from... I mean, it's probably just like it forgot to cancel something out or something. It's making deductions as we're eating, so it's not anything related to that, but... Now the mining we need to get done is we need to even out the amount of tin that we have now too. So maybe just go up like that way. And so until we have about 150 tin and 150 copper, it's still going to be a little bit tenuous being able to have enough materials to make the armor we need. Luckily, we only need 2 full suits of bronze mail, so we should be alright by the time we get there, but... Mrs. Woods has created a legendary pine bellows. Hold on, let's go look at it. The bellows of vermin. It's only worth 10. Great. On the plus side, I think if that's used as a conglomerate piece of a blacksmithing place, it makes us have a bonus to anything that gets crafted from there. I think that's how it works anyways. I couldn't tell you, but I think we're about out of time for the day. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode hanging out in Nompton. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.